Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports tonight. Let's take a look at what we're discussing and what's the lineup for this edition of Sports Extra. We will be starting off with the PSL, of course. The 7th edition of the Pakistan Super League continues at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. We had a cracker of a game. It was Islamabad United against Karachi Kings. Karachi managing to lose 7 out of 7 games. I am absolutely gobsmacked how they've been able to achieve such a historic feat. Might as well lose 10 of them. But I think a lot of positives they can take out. One fact is Qasim Akram getting amongst the runs. One fact is that, probably they felt a bit in the game. A bit of emotions were at the ease as well. We saw Babar Azam smiling for the very first time during the PSL. So I think that's a bit of a positive because the team will be moving on to the camp for Australia very soon on the 17th probably. So it's good to see that Babar Azam was enjoying his game. Nonetheless, Islamabad United dominated once again. Karachi Kings is out of the tournament, but Islamabad have some problems of their own because Hales will no longer be available for the remainder of the PSL. So, of course, a lot of injury problems there as well. Last night we had 2 injuries for Islamabad United, including their skipper Shadab Khan, and then, of course, obviously Asif Ali had to take the earns and bowl well as well. So that's something new that you saw from Asif Ali in PSL. Otherwise, he's done that in the past as well. After that, we'll be moving on to tonight's game. It's another cracker, very important, of course, critical points on the line. Quetta Gladiators take on Peshawar Zalmi. Action live from the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore, 7:30 p.m. on PTV Sports HD in high definition. Now, this is an important game. Quetta is at number 4. Peshawar is at number 5. So whoever wins this game will, of course, have a better chance of making it through. Of course, Mohammad Irfan is also returning to the PSL. Both teams have got 6 points. So whoever wins will have a better chance to qualify for that top 4 that will make it to the playoffs and the qualifiers as well. So that will be on the show for cricket. And then we'll be moving on to our other segment where we will have football. It will be the Club World Cup, where Chelsea have won their maiden title of being crowned the champions of club football throughout the world. They've beaten Palmeiras and they've won this title. It's been absolutely superb. You talk about Havertz, you talk about Mendy. 2-1 was the scoreline, but nonetheless, I think Chelsea will really cherish this. Havertz has become a hero once again, as I just told you. And of course, Tuchel has dedicated this trophy to Abramovich as well. So we'll be discussing all about that in detail when we talk about our second segment. Time now to start our show with the PSL, with cricket. First of all, let me introduce my guest in studios. We've been joined by cricket commentator, our cricket expert. Joining us tonight is K. Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm good. Thank you, Ahmed.
Good to have you on the show. And of course, before we move on, we've got a report at what happened last night. Let's take a look at all the action and then come back.
Islamabad United clinched a remarkable 1-run win against Karachi Kings in the 21st match of the 7th edition of Pakistan Super League at Gaddafi Stadium. Batting first, the Islamabad United piled up a total of 191 runs by 7. United skipper Shadab Khan remained the top scorer, giving 34 runs off 26 balls. Fahim Ashraf remained not out and helped United seal a big total, scoring 29 runs off just 10 balls, while Asif Ali added another 28 runs on the United scorecard of just 11 deliveries. Imad Wasim claimed 2 wickets for the Kings. Later, Sharjeel Khan played a massive innings, and despite the early wickets of the Kings skipper Babar Azam, Sharjeel continued with a bat and scored 44 off 29 balls. The partnership between Qasim Akram and Imad Wasim kept the hopes alive for Kings fans as Imad scored 55 off 28 balls. However, Waqas Maqsood barred Chris Jordan from making 2 runs from the last ball. His brilliant last over handed Karachi Kings with a 7th consecutive defeat in the Pakistan Super League 7th edition.
Can he get back? Probably at United. Absolute.
Well, finally, some excitement from Karachi. I mean, they're bottom of the table, but they've managed to give us a good game. But I think credit to Islamabad United, who let it go that far. But at the same time, I think Islamabad has won. They've got crucial points. They're number 3 on the points table. Karachi's out of the tournament. Problems for Islamabad as well, as Alex Hales won't be part of the remainder of the PSL. But I still think they've got a fantastic combination. Asif, your thoughts about last night's game?
It was a very good game, and everyone was talking about that the Karachi Kings, they're not in good touch. But the way they played last night has been really good. And although they didn't manage to end up well with the victory, but you know that when you are losing and not getting momentum, your captain is not performing up to the mark actually, and your top order is failing, like Sharjeel Khan is not in the in the momentum, in the good touch. And then we talk about their rest of the players, their foreigner players, and they got a couple of injuries. Amir was not there. So I think they got some problems. But when we talk about that, what was their planning? Actually, the way they came out and they were ready for the PSL 7 or not, I must talk about that, their pickup once again. It wasn't extraordinary, actually. Even it was ordinary picks, and you were thinking that Umaid Asif and Amir Amin, they're good campaigners, they play well. Yes, I'm with you, but the issue is that they're not finisher. They're not game changers, actually.
Match winners.
Match winners.
Yeah.
And you got Sahibzada Farhan, he got a very good chance, performing well in national T20 and then domestic as well. But you got a chance in PSL and you failed. And I was pretty much expecting, and you know that we were discussing this, that the Sahibzada Farhan is a good prospect. And then Rohil Nazir was sitting in the dugout. So I think something is wrong in their management.
But what happened last night with Qasim Akram could have happened since day one.
Yes, but actually was in West Indies, you know, and he was the captain of the under-19 team, although they lost there. But, you know, and all of the under-19 emerging players, Haris, Zishan, and then this Qasim Akram, they're playing really nicely. And the way he started, it was a phenomenal innings, really supportive. And on the other side, Imad Wasim was playing really good shots. So this is what we have to understand, that your one player could play a good role, but for victories you like team unit, a team effort, as Islamabad did. 20s, 30s, all of the players, they were, you know, including apart from Hassan Ali, all of the players, they have played their role. If you talk about Asif Ali, good with the bat, with the ball as well. So I think Islamabad United got very good combination. On the other side, Karachi Kings missing, and that's why they're out of the
How
PSL.
important and big has Shadab Khan been this year for Islamabad United?
Really important. Of course, the way he led, first of all. Secondly, his bowling, and after World Cup, even in the World Cup, T20 World Cup, we've been observing that he got really good spin, and his straighten one, his wrong one, his drift is nice. So I think that Saklan Mushtaq is working nicely with them. The same thing with the Imad Wasim, really good in the T20 World Cup, and Nawaz is also. So all of them, the players, the spinners, when we talk about that, they're working under the coaching of Saklan Mushtaq, the legend fast bowler, spinner. So I think, and now he's the head coach as well. So Shadab, and the way he batted, it's been amazing. No one was thinking about that. He's really good with the batting, but you know, as I've discussed, that he is working hard, and this is called, I keep saying and I kept saying, individualism, that you're taking responsibility. I'll do something better for my team.
But I think it's very interesting, this factor, because as soon as he realized that he was carrying an injury, he knew that he had to get his batting up to the mark. So he did that change. But I was listening to Saeed Ajmal's interview a couple of days back to Sana Mir, where he said that you have to understand that Shadab was carrying an injury and it was very difficult for him. Do you think, as cricket experts, there are many people sitting on various channels, various platforms, with all respect to them, sometimes you must realize if a player is going through a serious injury, be it a back problem or a hamstring problem, it's very hard for him to deliver a ball where he wants it to, because you don't get that follow through. So sometimes you got to realize that a player is definitely struggling. This might not be that his talent is over, might be he's carrying an injury.
Yes, that's right. But you know, if lately, if we talk about the recently, Shahid Afridi said goodbye to PSL because he's not feeling fine, and he said that I'm suffering with an injury, and might be he's planning for the KPL or whatsoever. But he said goodbye, and the player like Shadab Khan is still young, you know, around 24, 25, you know, so he got good time. But carrying injury, serving for your team, serving for your nation, it's extraordinary. And of course that Shadab Khan, he's a spinner, and that's why he could manage that. If it could be a fast bowler like Shoaib Akhtar, you know, that the same thing was happening with the Shoaib Akhtar. And nowadays he openly says that for this response, my injury and the responsible was Wasim Akram and Waqar Yunus, because they didn't let me go outside. They didn't let me go for the rest. But what happened with the Shadab Khan, I really respect him, and the way he led and the way he's carrying each and everything is phenomenal, and we wish him good luck and get well soon. So I'm sure that Hale joining soon because look, he's a shrewd guy. As you said that,
Yeah.
I mean, he promoted himself on the number 4. Why? He
It
knows
worked.
that. Yes, yes, everyone was looking for that because he's in a good batting form, he's in good touch, and of course that wherein you are in a good touch, just come up, take responsibility, and this is what legend captain Imran Khan always told to Inzamam ul Haq, that why don't you understand that you are capable on number 3? Why you are pushing yourself on the number 4, number 5?
Yeah, believe in yourself.
Yes. So this is what Shadab is doing. So hats off.
Definitely. Hats off to him. And now we've been joined on Sports Extra by sports journalist and anchor Abdul Ghaffar. Ghaffar, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Ji, walaikum assalam. Thanks for having me.
Well, Ghaffar, losing 7 out of 7 has got to be a special talent that Karachi has.
I don't think so. They need any talent for this, but I think it's a big disappointment. And of course, Waqas Masood was with me on my channel 30 minutes ago. I was just recalling his great last hour. But the one thing he actually described, which is the real key behind Islamabad's success and the difference between Karachi and other teams, that's the belief of the win. They kept saying to each other, despite losing their captain because of injury, their very talented under-19 bowler Vishan, who just bowled one of the delivery of the PSL to get rid of Babar Azam. He just not able to complete his quota of 4 hours. The one thing which Waqas Masood told me, that entire second inning, the Azhar Mahmood, the captain, Asif Ali, stand-in captain, they just kept reminding players that we have a belief, we can still win this, we can still beat Karachi Kings. So that is called the unity, that's called the spirit, and that is something that you clearly, very clear-headed about your goal, your style of play. That's something lack in Karachi Kings. I don't understand what they were thinking during the draft, what sort of team they picked. Just look at their 11 every time. Ahmed, I think you or me, we didn't play international cricket, but we can understand the difference of in foreign players they got and the other teams. And of course, there was no plan B because we are living in a very different world right now. There are problems of the COVID and obviously the injuries and the flight restrictions, anything could happen to any of your players. So you should have the plan B, the replacement, seriously missing in Karachi Kings. I think they are their supporters, I feel for them. They are seriously very disappointed. The biggest city
Definitely.
of Pakistan, genuine cricket lovers, and they are let down by the team.
But Ghaffar, how do you think the fans of Karachi will feel when they realize previous editions where they performed well, even when they won as well? They had the likes of players like Waqas Masood, who is now performing for Islamabad, Liam Livingston, who's now performing for Peshawar Zalmi, Arshad Iqbal, nowhere to be seen. At one point, Mohammad Rizwan was part of the squad, never considered. Umar Khan disappeared. All of these players who have been part of the squad.
I don't know why
initially.
you forget about Mohammad Rizwan. I don't know why you forget.
I just think he's a better player since he left Karachi. But Ghaffar, when you see all of these players who are performing in different leagues now, what was the thought behind letting them go and not retaining them for this season?
Sir, seriously, I have no idea how they are not able to manage that sort of core players. Look at Peshawar Zalmi, they have Wahab Riaz, they have Samin Gul, Kaman Akmal. At one stage, they have Mohammad Hafiz and Hassan Ali were also part of their squad. I can understand there are rules and regulations, and of course, recently it's also happened in IPL as well. That mega auction happened, so you have to release all of your players except 3 or 4 main players. I can understand this, but I cannot understand this. They release all these players in a very normal circumstances. There was no need. You can easily retain 7 to 8 players, and your 7-8 players should be your permanent fixture of your team. I don't understand, as you mentioned very clearly and very rightly so, Ahmed, that likes of Hales, Mohammad Rizwan, and of course Livingston, Waqas Masood, the destroyer of Karachi King yesterday, they all from Karachi King. So I think this is the area they need to look on, because they need to make a core players and a core group of their players which definitely can own them, like Imad Wasim. I think it's a good example for them. They retain Imad Wasim and he is playing regularly for them, so we can see that he is their star performer. So no rocket science. You have to give respect, and of course you have the vision to make a franchise team. It's a very difficult thing. Let me tell you as well. It's not an easy thing to run franchise, and of course that draft process. But at the other hand, everyone involved in Karachi and other teams, they are professional. I think they should learn from their mistake now, and I hope that next year they will come back stronger.
Well, Asif, you never know. Next season, we might say Babar Azam used to be part of Karachi. Now he's playing somewhere else. So these things might happen.
I don't think so. You know that, yes, if you are saying that just kidding, that's fine. But apart from joke, you know that rightly said by Ghaffar that you'd have to understand what's going on. You'd have to understand that the players are leaving you, or you are not taking them back, and you're not retaining them back. This is what...
I think the first question has to be, Asif, who's responsible? Because the first mystery is that who is the person to blame?
To be very honest, if I would be the captain of the Karachi Kings, I would take the responsibility. If you're a captain, you'd have to take the responsibility. If you are the coach, you have to take the responsibility. And that's why I'm saying that the two persons are responsible for this. Wasim Akram and Babar Azam, of course, for the picking. And now, if you talk about that for the next season, what they are planning, what they are thinking, so I must tell them that please start a players development program. It would really help you. It would help you like Lahore Qalandars did in the past, and they found lots of talent. And you talk about Haris Rauf, you talk about
But
Daniel.
that means doing real cricket things and not just doing celebrity appearances.
Yeah,
it's a very tough decision.
Yeah, this is, if you are here to give some importance to the cricket, so must go to the streets, must go to the grounds, see where is the talent, make your talent hunt programs, and I'm sure that...
Run it like a cricket team, not like a channel.
Yes, or don't run like only franchise for the PSL, just for the sake of PSL.
Make it a cricket brand.
Yes, so I think... for me, if I'm the captain of any side, and if my team is losing, then I'm the responsible.
But as a captain, would you believe that this squad could win? Do you see enough in them?
So then who is the responsible for the picking up?
No, that we'll come to that. But honestly, do you think this squad had that depth to win a tournament?
Look, I'm not saying that Babar Azam is responsible. What I'm saying is that Babar Azam should have taken some brave decisions and
demanded a team that this is what I want.
This is what he does in the national side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? That I want this player, and if then you're not able to perform, then you say that the Babar Azam. So on this time, I must say that this team was an ordinary team, as I said earlier. So you cannot make big changes, big games with an ordinary players. So yes, Babar Azam
have Chris Jordan open the innings. Do stuff like that probably now. Only these experiments can make sense.
Yeah, but you know that even then you see that 7 out of 7. Come on, yeah. I mean,
it's remarkable, Asif. It is a huge achievement. Can you imagine any other side losing 7 out of 7?
Viewers, you should understand why he's saying, because he's the die-hard fan of Karachi Kings. So that's why we could expect anything from Ahmed now.
Yeah, absolutely. Asif bhai is full on lethal these days. But I guess the truth will be true. So I often say we don't mean to be very harsh, but it's constructive criticism, because we want to see a more competitive league. We want to see all 6 teams fighting for that title. That's what makes it more fun. But talking about a battle is there tonight as well. We've got Peshawar Zalmi that is taking on Quetta Gladiators. Very important because of the points that are there on the table. 6 points each. Quetta on 4. Peshawar is on the 5th position. Whoever wins gets to have a solid place in the top 4 lineup who get to qualify. Of course, Multan Lahore probably has made it. If Islamabad is still there. And of course, if Quetta can hang on to a victory tonight, they might just make it as well. So probably we'll look at a report if we've got on the game tonight as well, if we do. But if you want to look at the match, 7:30 p.m., you can catch all the action live on PTV Sports in high definition. And of course, I think the toss will be important. But at the same time, Asif, what do you think? Quetta has got more momentum than Peshawar with the squad depth that is there?
Yeah, you're right. And the way they played against Islamabad United, and that's why, Quetta Gladiators, one thing that Sir Vivian Richard is sitting in dugout, your mind, your aptitude, your thinking.
Everything changes.
Everything gets positive, of course. And on the other side, I'm missing Darren Sammy. So I'll go with Quetta Gladiators.
What do you think will be the difference tonight if you talk about the strengths and weaknesses of both teams?
If you see their head-to-head record, Peshawar Zalmi is slightly good. I mean, they got 10 wins out of 18. And if you talk about the two captains, I think Wahab Riaz is better than Sarfraz. And if you talk about the opening pairs, one there Hazratullah Zazay, and the other side Jason Roy playing tremendously. and wins is there. And if you talk about spin bowling, once again, I think the game is all right. But Quetta Gladiators will be missing Mohammad Nawaz, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's very true. I think
Yes.
that's a big blow to
Yes,
Quetta Gladiators
yes.
in both batting and bowling.
Even then, I'm giving 70 marks to Quetta Gladiators and 30 to Peshawar Zalmi. So I think Peshawar Zalmi slightly.
Well, before we wind up very quickly, Omar Akmal finding form at a very crucial moment for Quetta Gladiators.
Well, he played nicely, honestly, to be very honest, that because the way he's picking ball, I mean, this is his favorite areas. You're pitching him short pitch deliveries and on the pad, so definitely
Mid-wicket
he would be
onside,
loving, you know, and that's why he is smashing all the way. So he's in good touch. He started well. It's a good sign for the Quetta Gladiators.
Asif, thank you so much for joining
Pleasure.
us. K. Asif has called it. He said Quetta Gladiators tonight, and I do think Quetta has more in them when you talk about the game. On that note, let's take a look at our segment recap. We discussed the Pakistan Super League 7th edition in detail, talked about the game that happened last night between Islamabad United and Karachi Kings, which Islamabad of course won, and Karachi losing 7 out of 7, still bottom of the table, consistency points for them obviously. But moving on, we talked about tonight as well, very important game. Quetta is going to be up against Peshawar, both teams on 6 points. Whoever wins takes crucial points that are very important now for the tournament to progress to make it to the top 4. So that action will be live 7:30 p.m. on PTV Sports HD in high definition. Let's go towards a short break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.